Bye.
Our story tonight is one of unintentional revelations. You know, sometimes Donald Trump exposes more than he means to. And while Christmas week could be a time for the president to just chill or focus on his tax bill, Donald Trump appears to be showing some signs of anxiety, lashing out today at the FBI in new comments. Trump calls the FBI tainted, and he cites a Fox News report. The attack comes right after Trump took time on Christmas Eve, which you may have understandably missed, to attack the #2 official at the FBI by name, Andy McCabe. Note that Trump is getting very close to crossing the line his legal team has set for him. Please, Mr. President, don't antagonize Bob Mueller. But Donald Trump appears intent on reinforcing a new strategy that Republicans have been pushing, trying to undercut the Russia probe. The idea, as the Washington Post explains, is to undermine Mueller indirectly by going after the organization he used to run, the FBI. And in this account there in the Post, it tracks the effort, which has moved from, frankly, the fringe to much of the conservative mainstream. That is the context for Donald Trump's seemingly odd holiday tweets. In fact, the tweets this week, we checked. This is the first time he's mentioned the FBI on Twitter in 3 weeks. Now, here's part of the Fox News segment that triggered him.
It looks like this is pretty shady. There's a sense that the FBI is still protecting the possibility that the dossier is true. Why would they do that unless they had some vested interest in it not being complete nonsense, which I think it is.
The dossier we have long known is bogus. The question is, how was it funded? And that question has not been answered yet.
Now, that news segment there cited a leak to a conservative newspaper asserting the FBI has not verified claims in the Russia-Trump dossier. Republicans also attacking the FBI now across the board.
I don't want to discredit them. I would like to see the directors of those agencies purge it and say, look, we've got a lot of great agents, a lot of great lawyers here. Those are the people that I want the American people to see and know the good work's being done, not these people who are kind of the deep state.
The deep state. This is the strategy now, a coordinated effort to discredit the Mueller probe. This is an effort Rachel Maddow recently warned about.
It sounds nuts, but they really are working on it. Increasingly, since Mike Flynn pled guilty and we learned he was cooperating with Mueller's investigators 2.5 weeks ago, we have seen a whole lot of red flags flying. We have seen the increasing anti-FBI, anti-Robert Mueller sort of growing fever pitch in pro-Trump conservative media. We have seen it in comments from White House officials who have started to say things like, the fix is in against the president.
That warning is proving prescient, and that is a statement of fact, regardless of where you come down on this, whether you think it's good to attack the FBI or not. Now, let me give you a legal view here tonight. There are two ways you can view this newly aggressive public strategy. One, it could reveal the people closest to the president, to the Russia probe, are getting nervous. Maybe they know something that is pushing them to drop the cooperative strategy and dial up attacks to Mueller. Or two, this could simply be something like an insurance policy. Mueller may not actually be any closer to finding wrongdoing in the White House. We don't know. And Republicans may simply want to ratchet up attacks, to polarize, to undermine any potential future indictments or findings by Mueller. And if there aren't any, so be it. Now, the evidence for door number one comes in the one place, if you think about it, where Republicans and Democrats actually overlap in their Venn diagram on this issue. Think about what's on your screen there, the top Russia investigator in the Senate, Mark Warner, laying down that unusual marker last week, saying he thinks something may push Trump over the edge. And then look at the overlap, because the red version, if you will, the conservative version of that same belief or expectation that Mueller's moving up the chain is demonstrated by these attacks on the FBI and Mueller. The evidence for door number two comes from the political, legal, media juggernaut of right-wing outrage. But note that both of these doors, whatever strategy you think is going on, are about politics, not about justice. And I want to say this to you tonight as the year 2017 draws to a close. We still live in a republic. And that means everyone does have a right to their political opinion about the FBI or anything else, but those opinions do not decide who broke the law. That is investigated by, yes, the FBI. And if there is a crime, it is then charged by, yes, the DOJ, and then a jury in our system, in our republic, has the last word. Let's be clear. For the Russia probe, that means the first step is the FBI. And the second, the charging decision, is Mueller. So it's no coincidence the attacks are heating up on the FBI tonight, and that gives a strong clue about where the attacks are headed next. I'm joined now by Nick Ackerman, former Watergate special prosecutor, former Maryland Congresswoman Donna Edwards, and NBC's Hallie Jackson in where else? Mar-a-Lago with the president. I start with you, Congresswoman. Nick is a prosecutor, and he can walk us through how it all works. But you, as someone who's held a representative office, your view of the import and the risk posed by those who would undermine the way the FBI is supposed to find facts in an investigation.
Well, I think it really starts with what you said. We're a republic. Now, it reminds me of the children's game Hot and Cold. And it seems to me Mueller is getting hot, and that means that Donald Trump and his emissaries, including Fox News, are stepping up their attacks on the people who stand between them and an indictment or charges. And so I'm not surprised by the attacks, but what I'm surprised by is the lack of response by the Republican leadership in the House saying that this is inappropriate in our system. And so I'm waiting for that.
And I'm going to go to Nick on the breakdown, but